All right, well, we got another miracle here. You guys ready?
What's another miracle? Another one?
We have another miracle here. And this one, you do know the sources for this one. Muhammad traveled to heaven. That was a miracle. And wouldn't that be a miracle if Muhammad actually rode up to heaven
Seven
on
heavens.
that creature?
Seven
Going
heavens,
straight through all of them. Clearly,
Seven
that's not
heavens.
normal. That has to be a miracle. So if Muhammad performed that miracle, how do you guys possibly reject him? I mean, obviously he's a true prophet if he flew up to heaven.
You're busted, CP Abdul. How are you going to refute that?
David, we have a problem here. This Abdul, now he will leave Islam. Because where in the Quran it says, Allah, he took him to heaven. I will shave my 20-foot beard if you can show me the verse.
Come on, CP. You can't just follow the Quran alone. You need hadith. Astaghfirullah. You know this.
The Quran says, all what the Quran says, that Allah, he took Muhammad to the farther mosque, not to the heaven. And here we need to ask a question. How Allah, he forgot to mention such an important event that he took him to heaven? He remember only he took him to Jerusalem? It's not important to say I took him to heaven. It's important to say I took him to Jerusalem. Which one is farther?
Yeah.
This is how silly the Quran is. Because if Allah, he took him to the heaven, the Quran should say, and we took Muhammad to heaven. But what Allah says in chapter 17, verse 1, I took him to the farther mosque. And by the way, where is the farther mosque? The Muslims say it is Jerusalem. What is the proof? All what it says, Al-Aqsa. Aqsa, there was not exist. There was no mosque at that time in Jerusalem. That's stupid. So where Muhammad he been taken? Which mosque? Nobody knows. So Muslims, they have fantasy, and then to complete the fantasy, they create stories in the hadith. Now, if we go to the hadith and we see how Muhammad he went to the seventh heaven, you will die laughing. In the story, it says that when he went up to the seventh heaven, before Allah he take him, Allah he cut his chest, and then he cleansed his chest from all the dirt and all the guilt. Question, Sam, question, David. Did God of Moses did a plastic surgery to any of his prophets to take them to heaven before he take them?
CP, this is the miracle of the Quran. It's foretelling plastic surgery. What's wrong with you?
You know what the purpose of the surgery? I mean, if the Muslim they say if Allah wants something, he say be is going to be. So why he send the three angels? One of them is Jibreel. They put Muhammad in the table and they start cutting his belly and taking off his livers and his stomach, and then they wash it with Zamzam, and then after that they install a dish of faith and dish of wisdom. Have you ever heard of wisdom coming in dishes, Muslims? Here we notice, but Sam, David, did Moses get his wisdom in dishes?
No, because Muhammad was going to be a sign for modern times, and one of the signs of today is surgery and plastic surgery. So that miracle is only for Muhammad. Come on, Abdul. You know.
But are you saying that the faith of Muhammad is made from silicone?
Yeah, it's a miracle. What's wrong? Now you can get silicone faith. Why not?
Hey, check out this comment here. We have a Muslim saying, Allah prays on Muhammad, not to Muhammad. Just so you guys know.
So he admits he
prays.
prays. Yeah.
Allah prays on Muhammad, not to Muhammad, guys.
So he admits he prays.
If Allah prays once, he prays. That's it. He prays.
But it's on Muhammad or for Muhammad. It's not to Muhammad.
Come on, Abdul Potato.
He prays. It's too late now. It's like you say he paint for Muhammad or he paint for somebody else. Who care? He paint. You know, that's it. I mean, when you say the Muslims are really funny.
All right, so you guys are saying you're not persuaded by Muhammad's trip through the seven heavens.
I almost was, but he convinced me that the plastic surgery part was even better.
Now, in the Muslim sources, isn't it true that he was in bed the entire time? So at best case,
yes, it says he never left his bed.
He never left his bed. So best case scenario, it's some sort of vision, which I don't know how that would be some sort of verifiable miracle. I could fall asleep right now and have some sort of vision of myself going to heaven. No Muslim's going to take that as any kind of evidence, not even the slightest, that I'm a prophet. And yet we're giving the Muslims an opportunity here to give their best arguments, their best material, and they're giving arguments that they would never accept for anyone else. If it were anyone other than Muhammad, they would say this is zero evidence. Yeah. Somehow, when they say it about Muhammad, it's clear proof. All right.
Go ahead. He have an evidence, we have to admit. Look at this. Muhammad, he said in Sahih al-Bukhari, when Allah, he took him with Jibril by the flying donkey, he found there the river of Euphrates and the Nile. Now, isn't the Nile and the river of Euphrates in heaven? They are. So how Muhammad he knew this? You know? So look here. Muhammad, he claimed that he found the Nile River coming from heaven. And both of them, the Euphrates, is coming from under the tree of Lut. If you go to Sahih al-Bukhari, let me get the reference. Hadith number 5610, Sahih al-Bukhari. It says that when he went there, he found 4 rivers. 2 of them is appearance, which means in the top, and 1 of them are underneath. All the 4 rivers are well known. 3 of them are well known in the Babylon land, and the other one in Africa, which is the Nile River. So how Muhammad is a true prophet, telling a true story that he went to heaven, but yet he witnessed the Nile River and Euphrates River there. What do you think, David? I think you're good in geography.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for the Muslim response, because it's clearly a miracle. Because it defies all human reason, and therefore it must just be miraculous knowledge.
Now, CP, before we move to another question, we're going to need the Arabic expert here, because you mentioned 17 verse 1, and this again will destroy Tawheed. But I want you guys to pay attention. You got the Arabic expert here. Listen to how messed up the Quran is. The real miracle of the Quran is that people think it's miraculous because of so many errors in the grammatical structure. CP, I'm going to read it slowly. I'm going to break it down. I want you to confirm in Arabic. Here, the servant that was taken to Masjid al-Aqsa, which they say is Muhammad. Muhammad is God. Here's why. Pay attention to this. Folks, please, give me your ears. Devastating verse. Glorified be he who took his servant, that's supposedly Muhammad, his servant, by night from the inviolable place of worship to the far distant place of worship, the neighborhood whereof we have blessed, so that we might show him some of our signs. Only he is the hearer, the seer. Guys, catch it. It says we showed him. Who's the him? The one who went to the farthest mosque. We showed him our signs. He, the one that we showed our signs to, is the hearer, the seer, meaning he's all-seeing and all-knowing. Hold on. That's supposed to be Muhammad. He was the one taken. He's the one who has shown the miracles. He's the seer, the hearer. So either you have Muhammad being called the all-seeing, hearing one, or Allah is the one that was shown signs by this group called we. So whoever this we is showing Allah miracles, and Allah is the all-seeing, all-hearing one. CP, isn't it true in the Arabic that whoever this he is, it's either Allah, so there's someone else, others who are showing Allah miracles, or it's Muhammad being shown miracles, and Muhammad is called the seeing and hearing one. Could you explain that to us?
Let us take it from the first word. When it says, Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi, praise to the one who took his slave. Who is talking? The answer is Allah. How Allah is saying, praise be to the one who took Muhammad. You know what I mean? Yep. Here there's a mistake, because if Allah is the one, he praised himself, he says, praise be to Allah. Yeah. This must be somebody saying that about Allah, that then is acceptable. But Allah saying, praise be to the one who took his slave. Okay, and then here we need to ask, why Allah always talk about himself as the other person? Why he don't say, me, the one who took Muhammad? Then we find, as you said, that the Arabic here is mixed up. But the Muslim, my friend, just to give you the good news, the Muslim, they will find a solution. They will say in Arabic, we can delay the description for someone, put it at the end of the sentence. So here it says, As-Sami'u al-Basir, this is belong to Allah, does not belong to Muhammad. But in the same time, Allah is saying he took his slave to the farther mosque, which is blessed around, to see him or to show him our signs, right? Mm-hmm. But Muhammad, he did not see any sign, because if I go to a mosque, that is not a sign. Is that a sign? If you take me to a mosque, if you take me from here to there, is that a sign?
Yeah, but see if you forget, you know what the sign is? That he saw a mosque that didn't exist. Remember, there was no temple or mosque, so that's a miracle.
And even his wife, she said, even the hadith says that he left by his spirit, not by his body. Yep. So he saw what? He saw a vision, you know? So, and what is the purpose of this miracle? I mean, miracles in order to show God ability. But to who? Muhammad already is a prophet, he believed. So Allah, he want to show Muhammad a belief so he can believe? Yeah. He want to show him a miracle so he will believe. This is a miracle should be shown to everybody. So why Allah in the Quran in different verse? And here you see contradiction. Isn't it Allah? He said that nothing refrain us from sending miracle except people they call it to be a lie. In chapter 17, verse number 59.
Yep, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So Allah says, we refrain from sending miracles. So how this miracle happen if Allah refrain? Either Allah refrain or Allah did not refrain. So if Allah really took him truly, that means there's a contradiction. And the Quran says, if this is a book not from Allah, you will find a lot of contradiction.
What if I only find few contradictions? CP says a lot. What if a few? Can it still be the word of Allah?
From the first verse in the Quran to the last verse in the Quran is a contradiction. I guarantee that. And I challenge any Muslim to challenge our ability to prove it. From the first page, the first page in the Quran says, in the name of Allah. How Allah speak? He says, in the name of Allah.
Yeah.
He is the one who's talking.
Precisely. Did you have another question? Because you're pointing at something.
Oh yeah, we have questions here. Before we move on, we're a little over an hour into the live stream. I just wanted to point out that if you want any links to CP's channels and so on, those are in the description box. We've got Facebook Minds, Patreon if you'd like to support him, and his YouTube channel, of course, and a link to his books, which you can get on Amazon. So just want to draw attention to the links there in the description box. All right, guys, get ready to convert.
Okay.
Not just Sam and CP here, all of you Christians, because here we have another biblical prophecy. So we're just going to ignore the fact that according to Deuteronomy, Muhammad is a false prophet who would have been stoned to death by Moses. We're going to ignore that.